Have you heard the one where I was a failed actress? All right, well, it wasn't that I didn't try. I honestly did. I gave it my best effort, but I just wasn't that good. It started as a dancer. I was a dancer in, well, first I was a dancer in Fort Worth, so Texas. I did a lot of nutcrackers. I did, I think, a couple of companies. One was really fun. It was like this gay couple who only really liked Bette Midler music, and I think they had like a couple of pet pigs. So it was very obscure kind of company, but I did work for that. I had a lot of issues with endometriosis and a lot of issues with my health. And that's when I decided that instead of going into the dance world, I was gonna like broaden my horizons and do some acting. And so I auditioned for a school in New York, AMDA, American Musical Dramatic Academy, and I got in. And I moved to Hoboken, New Jersey. But I was there for New York. And I, you know, did a lot of auditioning. I think I auditioned for, well, it was 10 years. I was an actress slash, waitress at Johnny Rockets. And so I would actually cut out from backstage, the little descriptions of the auditions. And I remember my first one was for like a Dr. Pepper commercial. And so I would cut them out and put them in a little journal. So I stopped counting after 100. And I stopped doing that after 100. It was 100 no's. And I got a manager. I didn't get an agent. Yeah, no, it was just a manager, and he was a hoot. But a lot of things just would happen negatively to keep me from actually doing a gig that I would get. So every once in a while I would get a gig here and there. And one time the director got hit by a car. I know that sounds very, I know it sounds like, oh my gosh, selfish actress. I mean, he got hit by a car. But like, you know, there was a lot of things that would occur on the outskirts of what my world, that kept these shows from from going on. One was he survived, just so you know. One, I got an ulcer on my cornea. I don't know if you've ever had an ulcer on your cornea. It's very painful, and my whole white of my eye was red, and I'm talking like fire engine red. And I couldn't blink and I couldn't keep it open. And this was kind of a dance gig. And I remember, she was very foreign and she wanted like very odd things. And my job was to hold a camera looking up at the ceiling and like spinning around. Like, I'm getting dizzy right now. That was it. I just had to spin for like the whole song, looking up at the sky. I would be puking, and oh, it was horrible. So I'm kind of glad I got an ulcer on my cornea for that one. Let's see. One time I was in a musical, the Technicolor Dreamcoat. Yeah, that one. Yeah, that was fun. Odd show, but I was on the way to the theater. My friends were all there. We're on the way, and I get a little call. Oh, just so you know, we don't have the rights to the theater, so we're going to cancel the show. They still paid me, but I didn't get to do the show. One was a delayed shoot, I believe, on a independent film, and it was so delayed that I couldn't do it because I had prior commitments. I also taught at Broadway Dance Center for the children, and so I knew that gig was going to be really important. So I didn't want to lose that gig just for this independent film. So I had to like walk off set. Let's see, I had gotten some other ones like I got a vodka commercial. I got a couple of things. I started to get more, but like I just wasn't very good. And so I remember being like, oh, I made it when was at an audition. Like it was auditioning. So I was at an audition and there were the two Robs, like they were famous, but they weren't as famous as they are now. Rob Riggle and Rob Hubel. Anyways, they were like in the audition with me. And it was like an audition for, I don't even know what. I feel like it was like mac and cheese. I don't know, something funny. But like, I was like in there working with them and I was like, yes, this is it. I mean, I didn't get the gig. I don't know if they got the gig, but I felt like accomplished by having a really, I was starstruck, but like having some really big stars in my audition. And that was pretty much it. I did get a really nice dance gig from knowing some people through AMDA. And that was, I think, the highlight of my career. And that was Powerhouse, which I actually, there was a review. It was at the Joyce Theater. So I felt like that was really great. And, but that was about it. Started to get a little independent film here and there. And then I started to get some commercials. And it was always because I was goofy, character. I looked like Carol Burnett. I was like, so but I remember sitting on set waiting, because that's all you're doing is you're waiting and you're waiting for your time to go up in front of the camera. And I'm hanging out with all these actors and I'm like, this is horrible. And I don't want to do it anymore. And I was done. That was it. I looked around and I'm like, this is what I'm fighting for. This is what I'm auditioning for, is to sit around and wait around with actors. And I know Marlon Brando had a great quote, something about neurotic behavior, but he said, quitting acting is a sign of maturity. And I mean, no offense to all the actors out there, but I was kind of done with it. And so I guess I got matured.